You got your bed, leader. You got your friends, leader. You take care of your kin, leader. Your brother, your friend, leader. You got your bed, leader. If you got your friends, leader. You take care of your kin, leader. Your brother, your friend, leader. It's sealed. You cannot tell me I'm not a leader. Retribution, yeah, it's coming for Edom. Bible scriptures and we giving them ether. Moab, I ain't forgiving you neither. You want a God or you want a pleaser? Tell me, you want the creator or you want a creature? Man, it's a fixed fight. And best believe we ain't taking no losses. Northern Kingdom put it into their crosses. Top level, take me straight to your bosses. To the bottom where they all try to toss us. Let them know that we still rise. Got a chariot up in the sky. This crown talk, swing low, swing box. Man, we still holding. Let them know that we still going. Got these scriptures, we still coping.
So now you heard when he was bringing out how we would be putting curses. How much of this are you following? Tell me, a lot of it. Tell me, what'd you learn before I go to the next point?
So what I learned?
Yeah, what'd you learn so far? Let me ask you that.
Is that what you know so far?
Like what? Even if you didn't grab all of what we said, that's fine. I just want to hear, what is it that you learned? Go ahead.
About like what's over about the stuff, about what God said, what's he gonna do to us if he didn't follow it.
Okay. Talk up a little bit. I can't really hear you. You said about what he would do to us. Okay. Like what would he do to us? Can't remember? Okay. What you know about the color of Christ? What color is he?
Black.
Right. Okay. He's black. All right. You got that. What about your circle?
They're just like us.
Right. And you need to watch it, right? Okay. So you got that much. All right. It's the curses. That's the part. Let's real quick. So remember, Moses is talking to the Israelites, right? All right. He's talking to them. And then he had led them through the Red Sea, delivered them from slavery. Gave them commandments. You know about the 10 commandments, right? Okay, he gave that to them. After he did that, he said, y'all are going to be above everybody on the planet as long as you do what I say. Right? But if you don't do what I say, then you're going to get a lot of bad things that happen upon all of you. You with me? That's what he's saying in Deuteronomy 28 chapter. That he was just reading. Now I'm going to pull one of the scriptures. I want you to follow right along with me. Okay? Give me verse 28.
Bring it out. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 28.
Now these are curses. Remember, if you did not do God's commandment, then all of these curses are going to come upon you as a people. Alright? Watch this. Listen real good. I want you to make sure you remember this. Alright? Go ahead.
The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart.
So now, he said he would smite us. Smite just means to hit. Right? Right. Smite just means to hit, like your mom said, pop. He said he'll hit us with madness. So a lot of our people are going to be crazy. Right? A lot of our people are going to be crazy. A lot of our people, after they smoke the wrong thing, they wind up being crazy in the head.
That's right.
After they wind up whether it was crack, you heard about this stuff, right? Crack wind up being crazy. The wrong blunt, which is weed, don't do it.
That's right.
Wrong thing, right? They wind up being crazy. Sometimes even like in this community, you know what I noticed? There's a lot of, you know what a prostitute is? Okay, I see, because we've been out here before and we had to deal with that. There's a lot of them that's out here.
That's right.
A lot of them that's out here. And you know what? I want you to listen to, what's your name again? Zamir. Now Zamir, listen, because this is the scripture that goes right along with what was just explained. Read it one more again.
Verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness.
He said he'll hit us with madness, craziness in the mind. A lot of our people, because, hold that, go to verse 65. This is why. So listen good. This is why. Come on.
Verse 65. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease.
So now, it says find no ease. Wait, you live near here?
Yeah, I'm in the state.
Okay, is that, I don't know, I'm not from here. We traveled here to come teach y'all.
It's not too close.
It's not too close to here? Is it nicer than here?
Yeah. It's que vai ser.
Some?
A little bit.
Is it ghetto? Yeah? Okay. So now, the reason why it says you'll find no ease, right, is because, think about it. Do you think that our brothers and sisters, people that look like us, when they live here in conditions like this, just take a look around you for a second. Do you think that this is luxury? How do you think people would feel growing up in this kind of condition? What you think they're going to start doing?
Taking drugs, killing people.
Yeah, doing drugs, killing people, right. What about our women, our sisters? What you think they're going to start doing? They don't make enough money, what they going to start doing?
Prostituting.
Yeah, they're going to start prostituting on the streets and all that other stuff. Right, exactly. Is that what you rap about? You rap about any of that?
No.
No? Okay. So, that's what they're going to wind up doing, right? I'm taking this slow because I want you to remember what's being said here. This is Bible. That's what's going to happen in our community. But remember, the reason why it's going on, one, we didn't keep what? The reason why it's happening to us is because we didn't do what?
Follow God.
You're right. Follow his,
God's rules.
yeah, follow his rules or commandments. And because of that, this is what he said was going to happen to all of us. Read that from the top again, verse 65.
Verse 65. And among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the sole of thy foot have rest.
Always be working. You're not there yet. Yeah, you're going to get there. Always working.
You already worked.
Watch this.
But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart, and failing of eyes, and sorrow of mind.
So now give them sorrow of mind. Go back to verse 28. So now that sadness, that's what you was just saying. That sadness. They'll wind up selling drugs, wind up killing. The sisters will wind up prostituting themselves, or, you know, what have you. All of that, right? Because of them doing that, because of that, this is what now happens to their mind because of the things they allowed themselves to give themselves over to do. This is what happens to their mind. Read that, verse 28.
Verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart.
Right. And astonishment of heart means your mind. He'll smite you with craziness. A lot, even people that's like, for example, friends, mothers, fathers, all of that wind up being crazy, strange, and you might see it. And then now I'm gonna tell you what it does to you, right? When you start to see that on a day-to-day, you see craziness, weird, odd things you know ain't right. You can't really explain it, but you know it ain't right. When you see that kind of stuff on a day-to-day, it starts to now mess with you and feel like you have no security in your own home. So you start to branch out and get friends that might have, for example, the similar situation. And then now y'all growing up together, no counselor, no figure inside your life to actually raise you up right. And then now it causes more monsters. Like you see brothers, they be on our street corners, and you know what they doing out there, right? I want you to listen good to me, because a lot of this stuff happens right within our own houses. Right within our own houses. And we have to be mindful that even though we're seeing it, that's where this right here, that's where this comes in to comfort. Your pastor will never tell you what's being said right now.
That's right.
Never. I want you to hold this scripture. I'm not sure if you know it, but the scripture I want is, it says, and this shall be the stability of thy times. I want that scripture. Find that for me. I know it's somewhere in Isaiah or something like that. This shall be the stability of thy times. Because remember, we'll be smitten with what, or hit with what? It said, like, because we keep God's commandments, we'll be smitten with what?
Madness.
Madness, right. We'll be smitten with madness or craziness. Why do you think we smitten with madness again?
Because we didn't follow God's commandments.
Right. We didn't follow God's commandments. I want you to hear this scripture now, along with that, right? Read this.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 33 and verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge.
So now, wisdom and knowledge, right? Where do you think wisdom and knowledge comes from?
Look it out.
School.
You say school? All right. What kind of school?
School is it.
All right. So I'm gonna tell you something. Now, the school system, where you go to school at, right? You go to public school, right?
No, public, private.
Private school? Okay, good. You go to private school. Well, so anyways, in school, it's guided, but there's a lot of I can get into that. There's a rabbit hole. There's a lot of confusion that's inside of there also. Not saying that there isn't things you can't learn in there. There is, definitely. But the one that the Bible's talking about when he says wisdom and knowledge, read it from the top again.
And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times.
So it says wisdom and knowledge, that's talking about here. That's talking about here. Drop Deuteronomy. I'm going to go back there later. I know you're getting a little restless, but it's the reason why it's important that I bring this out, the scriptures for your mind, is because as being 12, what can happen if you're around the wrong influence, whether it's close to you all the time or it's just friends you see every so often, it can wind up ruining your upbringing. And one way or another, even if this is your one and only time you may ever see us, one thing that's going to be said is you can't say that you weren't at least trying to be guided. That's right. This right here is a step, right? Real quick. Now, give me that.
This is the book of Malachi, chapter 2 and verse 7. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge.
So now, should keep knowledge, the priest. That would be, for example, what you see here. Priest ain't just the guys inside the black suit and the little tight tie that you see. You know what I'm talking about, right? It ain't just them. Priests are just guys, men who know God's law. That's right. That's what he's talking about. And it's about to say it. Watch, read it from the top again.
For the priest's lips should keep knowledge.
Should keep knowledge. Now, what's that knowledge? Read.
And they should seek the...
Hold on. All right, read again.
And they should seek the law at his mouth.
Right. So, when we're talking, what should you seek from me? Knowledge, which is what? And they should seek, read that again.
They should seek the law at his mouth.
So, what should you, as a young man, seek from me? The law of God. That's what it's talking about here. Because that's not taught all the time. And that law right there is what it says. Read that now in Isaiah again. That law, that's what he's talking about when he's saying this. Read that one more again.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 33 and verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge.
Wisdom and knowledge shall what?
Shall be the stability of thy time.
So God's laws is what, in these times, because there's a lot of things that's causing us to be sad, like what you're saying, right? That cause the sisters to prostitute, the brothers to sell drugs, the killing. But what's going to wind up keeping our minds sane is this right here. This Bible shall be the stability of our minds.
Right.
This right here is what's going to keep us stable. But if you don't have this as your foundation, you're going to be unstable.
Right.
You're not going to have no root. You understand what I'm saying here? A lot of stuff. What's going on, my man? How you doing?
What's up, man? I follow you.
Yes, sir. So a lot of stuff, and what I was bringing out to the young man, read it one more again. Read it one more again.
Verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy time.
So now, wisdom and knowledge, that's talking about this Bible here. That's what's going to be, that's what's going to keep our minds stable. Because like I was bringing out to him, what we see on a day-to-day here in Goldsboro, right? We see reason, I'm not saying that y'all do it, right? But we see reason for our people to sell drugs. We see reason for our people to kill each other. We see reason for our sisters to prostitute themselves, to hate each other.
That's an excuse.
We see reason for that.
There's not a
That's
reason.
why
That's an
it says right there in Deuteronomy the 28th chapter.
There's not a reason.
Hold on, be quiet real quick, sis.
I will.
So it says that in Deuteronomy 28, read that one more again.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 28.
Now, to catch you up, what I was bringing out to Zamir, right? This chapter is going over what the Israelites would face once they came out of Egypt afterwards, like it was long afterwards. Because Moses gave them what, you know? Moses gave the Israelites
The law?
law. You ever seen the Ten Commandments? Or you know about the Ten Commandments?
Yeah.
You know about the history of Moses?
Somewhat. Yeah.
Okay, so what he gave them those commandments. And then after he did that, he said, you'll be set above everybody. If not, you'll be below everybody. And you'll go through curses. One of those curses is this right here. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 28. The Lord shall smite thee with madness.
The Lord gonna smite our people with craziness.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying. So that right there ain't an excuse. That, believe it or not, is found written inside of the Bible. That's the reason why people are mad outside their mind. That's why we like we are. Like, you know what something else is? Something that's crazy. I'm going to tell you something that's crazy. In the Christian church, and sometimes, right, when the Bible start getting brought out, you start seeing, they start doing that little dancing like that. That's craziness. That's madness. That's not in the Bible.
Nope.
That's spirits. That's what the Bible calls it. It's called spirits. That's craziness. You're not right in the head. That's what that is.
But we have been lost when we was going to church, and like I said, my grandfather was a pastor. Died at 93, and I have learned more following y'all. You, because I look at y'all, I remember your face now. And
oh, so you actually see my face before?
Yeah, I follow you. I follow you on YouTube, your YouTube page.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've learned more now than I've learned my whole life.
Okay, and this is from a grown man. You see, he have gray hairs on his head.
Yeah, you know.
So
and my grandfather was 93 when he died. He was a so-called pastor.
Right. So you see that, Zamil?
Because I asked you one time, there was something going around here. And I asked him, I said, man, won't y'all go out there on that corner, man? I said, that's what didn't the word say? Go in the highways.
Yep. That's exactly
going out there. I said, man, y'all ain't right. That's why I ain't never like going
right.
to that church.
So, and with that being said, that's the reason why it's important to keep your mind sane. If you don't, if you wind up letting your mind get taken away from you, you're going to wind up being the example of what I'm teaching about. You don't want to be that. Well, you know what I want to see from you? I want to see you as a lion. You bringing out this word with fire.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission, minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold, from Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.